Hey there, welcome back to Special Educators Resource Room podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer from Positively Learning. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to give you a peek inside my lesson planning brain. If you have ever looked at your to-do list and thought, there's no way I can get this all done, you're in the right place. The truth is, you don't need to try to do everything every day. Instead, I'm going to share how you can divide up your planning tasks over the course of the week. This isn't a system that I perfected overnight, and I wouldn't say I followed it perfectly every single week, but after years in special education, I found that dedicating a different day to a different focus helped me feel more prepared without burning out. I'm going to walk you through a weekly rhythm, what you can prep and when, so that you can steal the parts that are going to work for you, tweak what doesn't, and maybe walk into Monday with a little less overwhelm. Let's jump in. Let's start with Monday. Mondays, we prep the paraprofessional plan. Now, even if you do not have any support staff, this step can still be for you. Thinking through how you delegate support, if you could, helps create systems that are easier to manage solo and smoother to hand off if you're out for the day. Now, if you do have paraprofessionals, you already know they can either make or break your systems. So every Monday, I would start with one of the most important parts of the week, prepping support for the paraprofessional team. This includes asking, what are they going to be working on for this week? What materials do they need? Where will they be? Like, what is their role during transitions or small groups? And do they know why we're doing what we're doing? Even if paraprofessionals you work with are absolute rock stars, we cannot assume that they know your plan. They can't read your mind. So I've learned to make the week as clear as possible, even if it's just a sticky note or a visual board. And bonus, once you set up this type of rhythm, you can often copy and tweak it from week to week. On Tuesdays, we do a data day. The low stress version. Tuesdays are for data, not all the data and not perfection, just forward movement. So you could pull one or two goal areas and make sure that progress monitoring materials are ready. Student work samples are being collected, and any notes from the past week are recorded. If you have time, you could spend Tuesdays updating a digital tracker. Or you could just make sure that you have sticky notes or labels or something ready to jot down things as the week continues. And a pro tip, you're choosing one or two students who need a closer look each week. That way you can keep rotating through your caseload over time and nothing falls through the cracks. All right, we've gotten to Wednesday. Wednesday is about lesson planning and visuals. And I'm going to pause here. I hope you know as I'm saying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, these could be any days of the week. It's more about delegating for a different day so you're not trying to do it all at the same time. Okay, Wednesdays are about instruction, or what are you actually teaching? You can keep it simple. You might have whole group plans depending if you're following the inclusion classroom or if you're in the resource room setting or self-contained. You want to think about your small group goals, your task boxes or independent work rotations, and any visuals or anchor charts you're going to need to prep. You can also glance at any IEPs that are due in the next month to make sure you're targeting the right skills during instruction. And if you're very short on time, I know, I realize how that sounds, you can just sketch out priorities for each group. That way you're not going to walk into next week empty-handed. Let's move on to Thursdays. Thursdays, let's talk about communication. So this could include parent updates or notes home, team check-ins, especially if you have meetings next week, paraprofessional feedback, questions, and don't forget about you, asking how you're doing. Thursdays might also be when you can write up quick progress notes or log behavior data while it's still fresh. It's not about perfection. It's just about getting in that rhythm so you're not doing it all at 7 p.m. on a Sunday. Fridays. Let's finish strong and reset for next week. Fridays can be your catch up or your cleanup days. If you didn't get to everything earlier in the week, you might tie it up here. So that might be refilling your independent work system, resetting your visuals, swapping out the file folders or the task boxes, and prepping materials for Monday. Or maybe you're just going to tidy up the stacks and leave yourself a sticky note with next week's top priorities. Even just 5 minutes of prep on a Friday can give Monday a smoother start. So that's how my planning brain works, broken down by day and not crammed into one Sunday night spiral. So let's recap. Monday was paraprofessional prep. Tuesday, low stress data collection. Wednesday, lesson planning and visuals. Thursday, communication and check-ins. And Friday, you can finish strong and reset. And no, this doesn't happen perfectly every week. Life gets in the way. But even having this rough outline can help save you from that overwhelming feeling of needing to do it all. You don't have to use this exact system, but I hope breaking it down in this way gave you some ideas so that you can build a planning rhythm that's going to fit your classroom and your life. Use this as a flexible framework that you can tweak for your own schedule so that you don't feel like you're working around the clock. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if this episode helped, would you do me a quick favor and share it with a colleague or leave a quick review? It helps more than you know. In the show notes, you'll also see a Google form that I've just opened up to capture your questions and topic suggestions for future episodes. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful week, and I'll catch you next time in the Special Educators Resource Room. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'm dying to ask, what'd you think? Be sure to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. You can find the show notes and links for everything mentioned in this episode at positivelylearningblog.com. See you next week for more special education solutions.